Hi, second grade, welcome back. So for this video, we're going to be working on the second objective. I want you to read it silently in your head. So we're going to be able to plan our evidence. So we're going to be using the same work that we did yesterday, and when we did our box and bullet plan, and we wrote our sentences, our topic sentences in the boxes. So right now, I want you to go and get that piece of paper. If you don't have it, no big deal. We're going to make it right now. So when we're picking our evidence to back up our topic sentences, we're going to use this CFS. So first, we're going to find text evidence. Then we're going to pick the two strongest pieces of evidence. So these are the text evidence that really back up what we're trying to prove. And then step 3 is to jot it down in our box and bullet plan. Remember last week when we were answering questions, we were just answering questions about our life. We were talking about people who inspired us, about embarrassing moments, but now we're going to be using text to back up our thinking. So I'm just going to review Kate Skates quickly. I already read this before. If you want to read this to yourself, you totally feel free to. It's on Google Classroom. So we're going to read Kate Skates. While we're reading Kate Skates, I really want us to think about our question. And our question is, how would you describe the relationship between Carlene and Kate? And why is the color purple important to their relationship? So as I'm reading, I'm thinking about text evidence that proves that Carlene and Kate are best friends. And I'm also trying to find text evidence that proves that the color purple is important to their relationship because it shows their friendship. So 2 thinking jobs as I'm reading, you're thinking about text evidence that proves that they're best friends. And you're thinking about text evidence that shows that purple represents their friendship. Kate Skates. Last year when Carlene moved next door, we started the Carlene and Kate Club. We paint noodle necklaces and make paper masks and eat peanut butter sandwiches with lots of grape jelly. Sometimes we wear purple and jump around yelling purple power. So right now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they have a club. That's the piece of evidence that shows their friendship. They have purple power. That's showing me that they really love purple. Purple makes us ready for anything. Ooh, that's another reason why purple makes them feel like they're important and makes them feel like they're friends. Shows why purple's important. But when I saw Carlene's party invite, I said, no way. Please come to my birthday skate party, Saturday, 3 p.m., Monroe Ice Rink. Carlene loves skating. She takes lessons every Thursday while I'm at ballet. I tried it once, and I spent more hours sitting on the ice than skating on it. This morning, I hid behind my bed. I don't want to go to that party. I almost forgot our club's #1 rule. We always stick together. I'm thinking right now, we always stick together. That's showing me how that they're best friends. So that's a great piece of text evidence that I might want to pull. This is really rotten, I said in the car. You'll be fine, Mom said. I stared out the window. When we got to the rink, I walked toward the party very slowly. I was thinking of the reasons to turn around and ask Mom to drive me home. But there were lots of balloons, and the cake had a giant flower, and Carlene gave me a hug. We ate snacks and made funny faces. I just started having a great time when someone yelled, "Let's skate!" My heart went pa-boom, pa-boom, pa-boom. My knees started shaking. I put on ice skates as slowly as I could. Then I placed one foot on the slippery ice, then the other. Come on, Kate! Carlene took my hands and started skating backwards. I held on tight. Fast kids whizzed by. Some fell down too. I held on tighter. Think about your favorite thing, Carlene said. I remember my dance recital, the crowd cheering, the butterfly costume, the spinning. Carlene and I went down, splat. My face felt hot and the way it does when people see me mess up. Then Carlene said, hey, we're both wearing purple. Oh my gosh, what are you thinking about this right now? Are you thinking that this is talking about why purple's important? I should see lots of brain matches. Yep, I'm thinking that too. Another reference to why purple's important. It was so true. She had on a purple hair ribbon and I had on a purple bracelet. I pushed myself up slowly. Okay, let's try again, I said. Even though my knees were shaking, we made it around the rink. I kind of liked it. Maybe I just need a little practice. When Carlene opened her present for me, she smiled. It was a bracelet, just like the one I was wearing. After she put it on, we held our matching bracelets. Purple power, we yelled together. If you want to read that again, remember that you can always go on to Google Classroom and reread it to yourself. So remember, we're working on the box and bullet plan. We're going to have our topic sentence in our box, and our bullets are going to have our evidence. Okay, so I want you to think, what were some pieces of text evidence that backed up that they do everything together? Talk about it. So when I was looking back at my text evidence, remember we were talking all throughout that article, we were saying like, oh, this is text evidence that proves that they're friends. The strongest, my second part of my CFS, finding that strong text evidence, my first really strong piece of text evidence was the first paragraph when she said Carlene moved next door, and we had the Carlene and Kate club. That shows that they're really best friends. They even had a club together. So that's a piece of text evidence, super strong, and I want to include it. The next strongest piece of text evidence is that their club's rule was that they always stick together. That's proving that they're best friends. Now, I could say that they always like to eat peanut butter sandwiches and have grape jelly together, but that's not really proving that they're best friends. The best pieces for me to pick are that they had a club together and that they always had a rule that they always stick together. Now I want you to think, what pieces of text evidence showed that purple represents their friendship? Talk about it. Yeah, there were so many references of why purple was important. So many times that they said purple is important. So I went back and I found the strongest pieces of evidence that showed that purple was important to their friendship. And I found that purple makes them ready for anything. That's in paragraph 6. And then I also found that Carlene, after Kate had fallen, Carlene said, hey, we're both wearing purple, as a way to cheer her up. So those are two really strong pieces of evidence, and I'm going to use it down. So my first step is to find text evidence. We did that. My next step is to find the two strongest pieces of text evidence. I have that. And then if I'm going back to that CFS, my next step is going to be step 3, which means I'm going to jot down these ideas in my box and bullet plan. Now, if I were to write this down, it would take so long. So we're just going to do little jots to help us out. So I'm going to turn this quote, last year Carlene moved in next year, we started the Carlene and Kate club. To help myself out, I'm just going to put in quotation marks Kate and Carlene club. And I'm always going to put paragraph 1 so that when I write this out in a full sentence later on, I can say in paragraph 1, it said. Okay. Then for my other quote, this one that says, I almost forgot our club's number 1 rule. We always stick together. To make it shorter, I'm just going to put in quotation marks our number 1 rule. We always stick together. And remember, I always want to put that paragraph number so that I know where I found my answer. So I'm going to put paragraph 6. And then for my next jots, proving why purple is important for their relationship, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at my evidence and I'm going to say, oh my gosh, okay, they were both wearing purple and purple makes them ready for anything. Those are shorter, so I'm going to write those down. Purple makes us ready for anything. That's in paragraph 2. And then we're both wearing purple, paragraph 7. So just the steps that I did right now, finding text evidence, finding the two strongest pieces of text evidence, and then jotting it down is what you're going to do with your answer. So your turn is going to be focusing on a question, and we worked on this question yesterday. Your question is, how do Kate's feelings about skating change from the beginning of Kate's skates to the end? And what causes Kate's feelings to change? Now, in the Google form, you guys had questions using what you wrote down. If you don't have these as your topic sentence, but you have something super similar in different words, you can keep it. If you have something and it doesn't match my answer, you need to erase it and you need to fill in these for your box and bullet plan so you're on point. So we're on the same page, we're working together. So your first topic sentence should be the restate Kate's feelings changed because, and then we're going to say at first she was nervous. You could also say she was worried about skating, but then she was happy about trying to skate. You could also say she was feeling more hopeful, she was feeling more optimistic, or you can copy down what I have right here. For the next question, what causes Kate's feelings to change? You're going to put that Kate's feelings change when she skates with Carlene. So make sure that you have something similar down. You could say that maybe her feelings changed when she was skating with her friend, when her friend helped her out. Those are all things that would be okay for you to have in that second topic sentence. Okay, if you need time to copy these down, you're going to pause the video and copy them down. Your job is to go back to the story Kate Skates, and you're going to find text evidence that proves that she was nervous about skating at first, but then was happy about it at the end. For this one, I would go back and find one quote about why she's nervous and one quote about why she's happy. I'm going to give you time. I want you to pause the video and come back and have one quote about how she was nervous and one quote about how she's happy. Pause the video. Now that you're done with why she was nervous and happy, we're going to focus on text evidence for the change. You're going to say how her feelings changed when she was skating with Carlene. So you're going to go back in the story and find me 2 pieces of text evidence that prove that she was happy when she was skating with Carlene. When you're done, you guys are going to show your answers on Google Classroom. So you're going to go down, and you guys are going to go to this part that says submit the box and bullet plan here. And I want a photo of your work. So you're going to hold up your photo of your work and you're going to submit it. A lot of you did a great job with this last week. Awesome job. If you're having any technical trouble, you can't get the picture to work, you're having trouble loading it, no big deal. Make sure you text both of your classroom teachers so they can see that you planned your evidence and met the objective. Awesome job, guys. See you next week.